If you want to change your life, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait until conditions feel right. You can begin today, and it only takes one focused hour. See, you don't need a full day to turn things around. You don't need luck or extra talent or even more time in the day. What you need is structure. What you need is a decision. And everything starts with just 60 minutes. 1 hour, used with focus, used with intention, used to build something that matters. That's the seed of transformation. Now, this isn't about rushing. It's not about trying to fix everything overnight. It's about doing the right things consistently, 1 hour at a time. And if you'll stay with me, you'll see how this daily hour can become the most powerful tool you have for shaping your future. Number 1, guard the first hour of your day. The first hour is where your future is built, or where it's lost. Most people waste it. They wake up and hand it over to distraction. The first thing they grab is their phone. They scroll. They check what the world is doing before they even check in with themselves. And here's the problem. When you give away the beginning of your day, you give away your power. You end up reacting instead of creating. And if that becomes your habit, years will pass and nothing meaningful will change. But if you take ownership of that first hour, if you dedicate it to your personal philosophy, you begin to lead your life instead of following it. What is personal philosophy? It's the foundation for every decision you'll ever make. It's your guiding principles, your anchor in a world full of noise. And here's the truth. It doesn't appear overnight. You don't download it like an app. You build it, one idea at a time, one reflection at a time, one quiet hour at a time. That first hour is your opportunity to design your thinking before the world tries to design it for you. Read a book that has stood the test of time, not just what's trending this week. Write down what you believe and test it against experience. Ask yourself, who am I becoming? What do I stand for? That's how philosophy is built, not by repeating what everyone else says, but by thinking deeply and deciding what you'll keep. Once your thinking shifts, everything else follows. Successful people know this. They protect that first hour like treasure. They study, they reflect. They ask themselves the hard questions. They prepare their mind to lead the day. While the average person drifts, the successful person directs. If you win that first hour, you start winning your day. And when your days change, your life changes. Number 2, disconnect from the noise. Study something that matters. Most people today live in constant distraction. From the moment they wake up, they're surrounded by noise. Notifications, gossip, endless scrolling, empty arguments, shallow entertainment. And all of that clutter fills their mind until they can't even think clearly. If you want transformation, the first step is to disconnect. Step back from what doesn't serve you. Quiet the noise so you can finally hear yourself think. You don't have to consume everything around you. In fact, that's the trap. The more noise you let in, the less clarity you have. And when clarity disappears, leadership disappears. You stop creating and start copying. You react to life instead of shaping it. That's why this one daily hour matters so much. Give yourself 60 minutes with no distractions, no phone, no notifications, no outside chatter. Just you and something that builds you. Study timeless ideas. Read material that stretches your thinking. Listen to wisdom that challenges you to rise higher. Because shallow input leads to shallow living, but deep input leads to depth of character. Learning isn't something you finish, it's a choice you make daily. And it's not about volume, it's about value. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind? Am I filling space or am I building strength? In today's noisy world, depth is your competitive edge. When you read something that forces you to stop and think, when you hear an idea that makes you question your habits, when you take notes because something inside you whispers, "This matters," that's when real transformation begins. Remember, the noise of the world will always be there, but you have the power to step away, unplug, and make room for growth. That's the hour where clarity is built. That's the hour where you rise above the average. Number 3, choose one skill and practice it every day. Most people waste their lives searching for a big breakthrough, but the real secret to progress is small, focused improvement, day after day. If you want to change your future, don't wait for chance. Don't wait for luck. Pick one skill and work on it daily. Just one. Not 10, not a dozen. One. Why? Because focus beats motion, discipline beats enthusiasm, scattered effort leads to frustration, but consistent effort leads to mastery. 1 hour, one skill, practiced daily. That's how you build confidence. That's how you create momentum. That's how you turn wishful thinking into real ability. See, progress creates belief. Belief creates momentum. And momentum creates transformation. Don't underestimate the power of that 1 hour. While others are distracted, you'll be sharpening. While others are waiting, you'll be working. While others are making excuses, you'll be making progress. And over time, that gap becomes impossible to ignore. The world rewards competence. It rewards usefulness. You don't become valuable by hoping, you become valuable by learning to do something well. So pick your skill. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's speaking, maybe it's building, teaching, leading, creating. Whatever it is, give it an hour. Every day. Protect that hour, because that hour is your builder, your weapon, your secret advantage. And remember, discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It asks only that you show up. Number 4, dedicate 1 hour each day to becoming more valuable. If you want a better future, you must first become a better person. And one of the most practical ways to begin is to invest 1 hour each day into raising your personal value. Not your image, not your appearance, but your real, authentic value, the kind that makes you useful, trustworthy, capable, effective. Because the truth is, you're rewarded not for the effort you talk about, but for the results you deliver. Becoming more valuable means strengthening the areas that affect how you think, how you act, and how you perform. It means improving your discipline, your ability to focus, your communication, your time management, your resilience under pressure. These things don't develop by accident. They develop by intention, by setting aside time each day to build them. 1 focused hour every day on the skills and disciplines that make you stronger. And remember this, the world doesn't pay attention to who's the loudest. It pays attention to who's the most useful. Becoming valuable is about solving problems others run from. It's about being the person people can count on. And if you'll work on that hour by hour, day by day, you'll separate yourself from the crowd, not with noise, but with results. An hour a day. Just 1 solid hour where you silence the noise, set aside distractions, and step away from endless scrolling or busy chatter. 1 hour, where you simply ask yourself, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? That question alone can shift your entire life. It pulls you from survival into strength, from reacting to creating, from drifting through life to directing your path. No one hands you value. It's something you earn. And the moment you understand that, you stop waiting for life to get easier, and instead you start getting stronger. That's the real turning point. You take ownership of your growth, and progress stops being some distant dream. You begin to see it every day. Better habits, sharper thinking, stronger actions. It's not always glamorous, but it works. And those who stick to it, those who do the work instead of only talking about it, they move forward. Every single day is an opportunity to become more valuable than you were the day before. But let me warn you, this requires honesty. Ask yourself, what am I doing with my time? Who am I learning from? What am I practicing? Am I showing up, or am I making excuses? You don't have to rebuild everything overnight. You just have to commit to that 1 hour. Not for applause, not for recognition, but because your future depends on how you show up now. The most successful people aren't relying on luck. They rely on structure. They don't leave their growth to chance. They schedule it, protect it, and show up even when they're tired. That's the difference. If you want more, you must become more. And becoming more begins with that single intentional hour each day. Start right where you are. Use what you have. Even if all you can do today is read 1 chapter, write 1 note, or practice 1 small skill, do it. Don't underestimate the power of consistency. That hour compounds. It builds momentum, and momentum breeds confidence, and confidence fuels action. Transformation doesn't happen in one big dramatic sweep. It's built from small, focused decisions, followed through without excuse. Of course, you'll face distractions. Resistance will show up. Some days motivation will run low. That's normal. But the real strength is built in your decision to continue anyway. That's where your future takes shape. Not in promises, but in how you use your time. So protect that hour. Guard it like it's as essential as food or breath. Because once that discipline becomes part of who you are, everything else in your life begins to rise with it. The most powerful shift you can make today is this. Stop waiting and start building. Don't worry about a perfect image. Build real value. Real value comes from effort, from 1 consistent hour every day, from decisions that push you forward instead of pulling you back. That's how you rise. That's how you change direction. That's how you transform your future. 1 intentional hour used well every single day. Number 5. Spend 1 clean hour fixing your current situation. If your life isn't where you want it to be, the answer isn't to complain or to wait. It's to face reality and work on it. 1 focused hour each day, looking honestly at your situation, can rebuild your life faster than a lifetime of wishing. Ask yourself, what's working? What isn't? What must stop right now? What must begin today? This hour doesn't demand that you fix everything at once. It simply asks for ownership, piece by piece. Whether it's your finances, your health, your daily routine, or your attitude, give it time, give it focus, give it consistent action. That's how progress begins. 1 clean hour with no distractions, no excuses, no pretending, just clarity. And clarity exposes the weak patterns that have been running your life. Replace them 1 by 1 with stronger ones. No one is coming to rescue you, but you can rescue yourself, 1 step at a time. Each day you honor this hour, you reclaim your power. You remove a little bit of chaos and replace it with order. You trade confusion for direction. And most importantly, you rebuild confidence in yourself. Because when you act, you no longer feel stuck. You feel strong again. Fixing your life won't always feel comfortable. In fact, it often feels the opposite, but that discomfort is the price of transformation. You trade temporary comfort for long-term stability. You give up excuses and you take control. You don't need dramatic gestures. You don't need special tools. You need one clean hour, applied daily with honesty and discipline. Number 6, make 1 hour your turning point. Every person reaches a moment where they feel the weight of their choices. Some ignore it, some run from it, but the few who change, the few who grow, make a decision. And that decision doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It can be as quiet and simple as giving 1 clean hour your full attention. If today feels like just another day, make it your turning point. 1 hour today, dedicated to your life, your goals, your future. That's how transformation begins. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Time keeps moving whether you use it or waste it. But 1 hour used well can reset your focus, renew your energy, and reshape your direction. This is not about perfection, it's about direction. Use the hour to break the pattern that's been holding you back. Use it to face what you've been avoiding. Use it to take 1 real step forward. Because here's the truth. What you do today shapes who you become tomorrow. And when you repeat that 1 hour daily, you rewire your discipline, you build new habits, you replace excuses with action. That's the difference between who you are now and who you want to be. Most people scroll endlessly, filling their minds with noise, but never with wisdom. They spend hours consuming distractions, yet remain unchanged. But just 1 focused hour with a great book can do more for your mind than a full day of empty entertainment. Reading even 1 chapter a day forces you to slow down, to think, to wrestle with new ideas. It's not about speed, it's about depth. You don't need to finish a book overnight. You need to absorb it, reflect on it, and apply it. The right book gives you tools, perspectives, and principles that shape how you see the world. 1 good chapter can plant a seed that grows for a lifetime. That's the power of intentional reading. Don't just skim words. Look for the ideas that challenge you. Highlight them. Write them down. Carry them into your decisions. Do that daily, and soon you'll notice something. Your mind is sharper, your words carry more weight, your choices become wiser. That's not luck, it's the result of feeding your mind with value. You don't have to guess your way through life when others have already mapped the path. Learn from their lessons, borrow their wisdom, avoid their mistakes, and all it takes is 1 chapter a day. Remember, it's not about reading more. It's about reading well. A single powerful idea applied consistently can shift the direction of your entire life. Within months, you'll have hundreds of those ideas guiding your actions, shaping your mindset, and strengthening your character. So make reading your habit, not casual reading, not shallow reading, but intentional reading. Read what builds your courage, your focus, your discipline. Read books that stand the test of time, the ones that build foundations, not fads. Number 9, spend 1 quiet hour every evening in reflection. Your future is not only shaped by what you do, but by what you learn from what you do. Each evening, sit down in silence and review your day. Not with guilt, not with regret, but with honesty. Ask yourself, how did I spend my time today? Did I keep my word? Did I move closer to my goals, or did I drift? Most people never pause to review. They rush from one day to the next, repeating the same patterns, never asking if those patterns serve them. But you, if you take that quiet hour, you begin to see clearly. You see what worked, what wasted your time, and what deserves your energy tomorrow. Reflection doesn't require anyone else's approval. It doesn't need applause. It's just you and your truth. Some nights you'll feel proud. Other nights you'll feel disappointed. Both are useful. Pride shows you what to repeat. Disappointment shows you what to change. That's how real progress happens, not by guessing, not by drifting, but by reviewing, refining, and adjusting daily. 1 hour of honest reflection each evening builds maturity, strengthens discipline, and increases self-respect. Because when you know the truth about how you live today, you're ready to live tomorrow with more purpose. Number 10. Take 1 hour seriously and use it to build something that lasts. If you want real transformation, treat 1 hour each day as sacred, not half-hearted, not distracted, not casual. 1 full hour with your full attention. That single hour is where lives are rebuilt, skills are sharpened, and futures are shaped. You can waste it or you can invest it. The difference is everything. When you invest an hour daily into your health, your craft, your mindset, or your relationships, you're not just passing time, you're stacking value. You're building something that will support you long after the hour is gone. This isn't flashy, it's not overnight, it's not quick, but it's permanent. The foundations of a strong life are laid in quiet, steady hours of discipline. While others chase shortcuts, you'll be building something solid, something that can withstand pressure, storms, and setbacks. Consistency is the secret, and consistency is learned in that 1 intentional hour. When you show up daily, no matter how you feel, you develop character. And character sustains success far longer than talent or luck ever will. The people who build extraordinary lives aren't doing 100 things at once. They're doing a few things consistently with focus and intention. So take your hour seriously. Guard it. Use it. Build with it. Because years from now, your health, your finances, your relationships, your wisdom, all of it will trace back to the hours you invested when no one was watching. Not someday, not when things get better. Today, 1 hour. 1 hour to read. 1 hour to reflect. 1 hour to build. This is how you change your life. Not by chance, not by shortcuts, but by daily discipline. The time is already in your hands. The only question left is, what will you do with it? Because 1 serious hour a day, repeated faithfully, won't just change your schedule, it will transform your future.